let's get into this. I'm about to swap scenes. I've got a webcam set up, and the first match we will be diving into will be Club Brugge versus Barcelona. This is an August game. Two powerhouses. We have Flip Clops against Josh W. And next, because this game unfortunately did not have any highlights to it, we have had to go back to the old ways of a notepad. Right. Luckily, I've got highlights written down on it. So let's just get into it. I will say one thing. Do we want the audio on, or do you want me to leave the audio off and just have me speaking over it? Up to you guys. Leave the game. Oh, that might cause a little issue, depending on how loud it is. If it is too loud, then we can readjust later on. Put it as low as possible. I'm going to leave it on like that. Hopefully that is fine. I hope that is alright. Lion King, welcome in. As we get into Barcelona versus Club Brugge, Josh versus Flip Clops, and this is the first highlight of the game, right off of kickoff. Straight over the top, and look at this. Composed finish from Ekatike to put Barcelona 1-0 up inside of 1 minute. And that's how Flip plays. He is, if you make a mistake, he will punish it. But Josh, can't sleep on Josh either. There was a good little touch there from Flips, another shot, and that's another chance from Flips. About 4 minutes 20, we have our next goal. So 4 games without highlights, I will have to start, which is unfortunate. But it's another chance yet again, and it's caught this time. But as we move on to 4 minutes 20, around about there, we have Club Brugge's first goal. And I'm just going to let this play out. And Josh, straight away, it was a good run down the right, pulls it back, and Salah, he won't miss from there. Salah doesn't miss from there. And the next highlight we have, 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Bruges, they come onto the attack. And this is what happens. Interception. Look at that ball over the top. That is what I like to see. That is a quality ball over the top. Look at that pass. Look at this pass. People don't understand how accurate that pass has to be. That is a fantastic pass. But if you've seen this game, if you watch the full video, you know that Bruges will come knocking. And it's another goal. It's another goal. Inside of 30 minutes, it is 4 goals. It is 2-2. But that's not it. Ball goes over the top. And it's another goal. Look at that. Right off of kickoff. Slip through to Verts. And it's another composed finish. And you cannot mess around. You really can't. These two, when they're at their best, they are exciting to watch. Albeit annoying if you are the ones playing against them. After this goal, the game sort of panned out. Bruges, some nice defending there. But the next highlight we'll look at is Barcelona getting their 4th goal of the match. And it's little flicks. Little flicks is what win you these midfield battles. And the flick goes over, saved by the keeper, and then it's just a finish. Right place, right time. Goes on to Jonathan David. Good pass into Ekitike. Saved, and then Wirtz. I think that was his hat trick. Wirtz with a hat trick. Bruges try and go forward again here. Just one too many touches though. Although Bruges nearly got another goal here. Just couldn't quite get a shot away quick enough. And Flips was able to get across. And Barcelona conceded the corner but ended up seeing out the half. Just an unlucky pass there. Messi normally does better. And that's half time. I want to pause on that and just gather my thoughts for that first half. We saw 6 goals in the first half. It's not the highest scoring game though of today. But Florian Wirtz hat trick inside of 20 minutes, in-game minutes. Exactly, Wirtz hat trick. Used to play for the Aston Villa, didn't he? Yeah, Flips. He just put all his chances away. Josh is unlucky not to come away with more of that. That first half, sorry, not second half. But the game did sort of pan out for the most part. But Club Brugge, they had chances. Let's move on to the 12th minute of the video. And I've got this down as a Bruges chance. Win the ball back in the defence. Move up quick from the midfield. This is what I'm noticing. Quick plays from both teams. Messi gives it to Trezeguet. And I find those don't go in. Oh, don't do this now. But Messi gives it to Trezeguet here. Hopefully we can stay like this. In that situation, I probably would have went for a power shot. A stunning shot even. But I can see why he's gone for a cheeky little curler. And flips. And it flips with this double touch. You gotta be careful with it. Because it will just absolutely destroy you. But we do have another chance coming up for Club Brugge here actually right after there. A second one. Again, won it back in the defence. Moves it up quickly. This is what we see in this game. Quick counter football. And it was unlucky to take a deflection really, and Flips was able to stop it sort of just off of the line. But Josh had some chances. He could have got a few more goals. And I think he was unlucky not to get one. But that's the game. If you don't take your chances, you don't win games. And that's what Flips does perfectly. Flips will have 5 shots on target against you and score all 5. Because he's just clinical. Next highlight that we move on to is, I believe this is Barcelona's next goal. A little overlapping run, an underlapping run there. But Flips keeps driving, picks out that perfect pass, and another pass. And you could say another pass into the corner of the goal, really. It's just placement. It's clinical. Where do you find better accuracy than this? Mohamed Kamara into Goodmanson. Don't know who he is. But it's just a first time shot. Keeper's caught off guard. The defence has been caught off guard. and he just passed it into that bottom left corner. Now, whilst that is the end of the goals, and I didn't catch any more Barcelona chances, we will have to go back to 5 minutes to see a Club Brugge chance. This is it back into the first half. So we've done the goals, a few chances from Club Brugge, and these are the chances where I thought maybe Josh could have got more out of the game. And maybe if he did get more out of the game in this part, in this the opening 20 minutes, the game might have changed. But the ball's over the top, and you got to be fuming with Salah in that situation. That's got to be a goal. That's got to be a goal. Look, he's got it all wrong, right where it matters. And maybe if that was an experienced striker on the end of it, it would have ended up as a goal. Now, here's another chance for Club Brugge that I wanted to point out as well. And this is the one where they come closest without scoring. 3-2 down at this point. Forced out wide. Good tackling by Flips. Good defending. And I'm going to let this one play out. Hits the post. Just from outside the box. Good dribbling. It's Trezeguet again with that finesse. Just hits the post. Only just missing out. And we'll go back to Flips' last goal. And that'll be the end of game 1. It's a lot of goals in this game. But it's just one touch again. Quick counter football. He's got multiple options running. Decides to go alone. And then picks out one perfect pass, two perfect pass. And then into the corner. And that is the first game of our match of the day. Club Brugge 2. Barcelona 5. And that is the first game. A lot of chances for Brugge, but Barcelona clinical. Now, moving on into the next game. I have Lyon against Olympique Marseille. And we're going to start off with a Marseille goal. Let me just make this full screen. And we've got commentary on this. And I'll let this one play out as well. That's where you want your players to be. You want them to finish up like that when the keeper parries it out. And we'll watch that over again. If it's letting us. Here we go. And that is where you want your players to be. It's a good save, but it was just a poach. It was just a quick poach. Arturic, welcome in. I do apologise if I butchered the name. But that is Marseille's first goal. This is the Championship A game. As we move on to the next highlight. And this chance comes from Marseille. Oh, come on. It's because I'm streaming. They didn't like this when I'm streaming. But here we go. This is Andrew of Marseille. Wins it back. And it was the right idea. But Lyon... they're lucky to get away with one there, Lyon. And I like this. I think the best for corners is definitely going short. Unless you hold it in the corner for too long. But straight from this corner, they do win it back. On the brink of half-time. And it is very good passing from Marseille. And they take the game 2-0. And Marseille, if you're Marseille at this point, you're cruising. You're going into half-time 2-0 up. 2 well taken goals. And if you're Neodig of Lyon, then you need something. You need a bit of luck to go your way. And that's what we're going to look at in the second half. Lyon just need a little bit of luck. They win it back in the defence. Very good jockeying there. And that is a quality pass. Touch, pass, straight into the path of Carvalho. Chip into the bottom left corner. You can't go wrong with that. Fantastic goal. And I said they need a little bit of luck. 10 minutes into the second half, and they got their goal. But now we'll move on to the next highlight of the game here. And this is the last game before we move on to actual highlights, so there'll be less stop-starting. Lyon go for on goal, and that is the luck they needed. Now, I thought this was a bit harsh at first. But that is the foul there. It wasn't the nudge. The nudge was perfectly fine. But if you can see, legs got tangled up. And if you're in front of your defender, it's always going to be a foul. Well taken. And Lyon, they needed the luck. They got their penalty. But Marseille, they were not just going to let up. And they get a shot off. It was a close shot. And then a shot from outside the box there. It was close. But it's just over the bar. But in that situation, I probably would have shot that from there as well. Next highlight moving on to is actually right after this one. So I'll let it play out. Marseille being risky, playing it around the back. And they ended up winning it back from the press. And it was a close shot. Let's watch that one back. Win it back from the press. And I think that is a missed opportunity. If we watch this again, go through, nicks it back, he's through. And he's shot. I reckon he could have gone a bit further. But it's easy to say these things after the game. Because obviously you're not playing from there. The next thing I want to look at is this build-up play. And I'll let this play out as well. And in that play, there was 12 passes. And to make that 3-2, if you're Marseille, you want to see this game out now. And he was seeing it out. He was seeing it out pretty well until here. From the goal kick, moving up. You need to get the ball up quick. So there's only 3 minutes added on. It gets a bit unlucky there with the minutes added on. But look at that for some play. If you have a better shooter on the end of that, that flies into the top corner. Andrew trying to pause. He's trying to get everyone back. Marseille need to defend this. Corner gets swung in. Header goes down. He nicks it back. Look at that touch. Shot off the line. And that was the last kick of the game. Lyon had the chance to win it. The header blocked. Touch. Shoot. He beat the keeper. He beat the keeper. And I'm speechless. He's fully beat the keeper. And it's blocked off the line. It is a fantastic block. And the defender is in the right place at the right time. The amount of pace on that was amazing. And both teams ended up playing well in the end. Lyon, they were asleep the first half, looking back on it. But that second half, they really switched on. They were 2-0 down. They brought it back to 2-2. But unfortunately, they couldn't bring it to 3-3. And that's what I mean, taking your chances. They had a few chances, especially that one where he took the shot from the edge of the box. It wasn't even a half chance. That could have been a goal. But off the line, Marseille would be over the moon. Lyon, they'd be fuming. And the next game I want to look over, which do actually have highlights, is Rosario versus Inter Milan. And you'll notice there's a bit of a filter on this. Not sure what that is about, but look at that for a ball. Good touch, good finish. Rosario would be amazed with that. Wilfried Zaha with the assist. And I mean, that is a remarkable touch. It kind of reminds me of Marcus Rashford against Liverpool, but he ended up missing. And we have a chance here, just shy. That could easily sneak in, far post, near post. Sorry. Martinez is making himself big, and Rosario had a lot of chances this game. I think they're pretty unlucky. If you know the outcome of this game, you know what's happening. But that isn't a bad shot. I think the keeper would have had it covered had it been going in though. But Inter Milan, this is Piojo of Inter Milan. He is a good player. He's a very good player. And they sort of had a grip on this first half. And I think Rosario they're just attacking well, and they finished well. There's a Rosario chance before half time. And if that was my goalkeeper, he nearly let it in. But he didn't. And 10 minutes after half time, Simeone Profundi deals it off Tyrone Mings and slots into the corner. Can't do anything about that. If you're too slow at clearing it, you're going to get punished. And just 10 minutes after half time, Piojo makes it 1-1. But then 12 minutes after that, Sadio Mane is clinical. Goes through on goal, good little touch, and just steers it into that bottom left corner, sort of middle left, in a way, on his right foot. But it was close. But then Piojo does respond. He does make it 2-2. And that Rosario have been unlucky. That's 2 goals that have gone against them defensively. One when Tyrone Mings fell asleep, and one sort of rebound goal. But Rosario, they weren't giving up. Sadio Mane goes through on goal, and that is the chance. That is where you need to curl that into the bottom right corner. I actually want to look at that again. Because he beat the defenders. He's fully beat the defenders. You could cut in there. But it's a save from the keeper. And then a few minutes later, Piojo of Inter Milan go up the other end. Miguel Almiron combining with Dybala is a fantastic finish. If I'm Emi Martinez, I'm doing better there. That is a perfect pass. Dybala steers it into that bottom left corner. I think the keeper could do better. And then Inter Milan wanted to wrap it up. It's a decent shot. And I think you got to catch that as well. I think Martinez had a bit of a poor game. And I think Rosario got unlucky with that. That is Inter Milan 3, Rosario 2. It was an even game. Rosario actually had more. Josep Martinez, right. Maybe I should do my research next time. Or I should just go by their last name. But look at Rosario's passing stats: 174 passes to 124 successful passes. Possession play style, I think they're unlucky to get a lot. I reckon a 2-1 result for them would have been fair. But now we move on to Porto versus Corinthians. And I actually don't know the score of this game, so we're going to be reacting together here. All over the top, cuts in, has a good strike. That is a fantastic strike. Yeah, that is just a perfect. That is just a one-off ball. Well, it's not. It might not be a one-off ball, but it's a perfect ball, and they don't happen often. And it's just struck right into that top corner. And it's enough. Porto, they've been caught napping. Got skipped. Ball goes over the top. It was cut out by a Porto defender, but that's poor. I think what happened there, and I'm trying to speak as if this is a real football game, but I think Batinha did try to super cancel into it, and ultimately Leandro Fernandez is able to get the finish, but Julian Alvarez comes up a couple minutes later, and that is very good play from Porto. Kai Havertz with the assist, smashed into the roof of the net. You expect Alvarez, he has to finish from there, and he smashed it into the roof of the net. And on the brink of half time, Gonzalo Guedes puts into the bottom right corner. Oh, that's so unfortunate that we're skipping highlights. I haven't actually seen this goal, or I don't remember seeing it. It's another one smashed into the roof of the net, sort of, into the top right corner. Diego Gonzalez. Yeah, Arnold. I got to work on my pronunciations, but unfortunately, that's not a strong suit, especially when I'm streaming over on TikTok and people come over and their usernames. Not my strong thing. UK boss, are you watching the World Cup later? Big up though. I am watching the World Cup. I absolutely love it. People complaining, but it's an international tournament at the end of the day. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Corinthians' last goal. And he just gets his toe in front of the defender. Yeah, just gets his toe in front of the defender and slots into the bottom left corner. I think that's a big part of these leagues, the GPCL, the GPSL when it was. The finishing, you couldn't get cards with high finishing. That was a chance there from Alvarez. Here's another goal from Corinthians. Right, this is the last one, 85th minute. Filip Kostic, he is a cross specialist. He is a very good crosser. And that keeper got caught off guard. I think oh, we got another goal. Ah, defensive blunder, and the ball goes underneath the keeper. But I want to go back to this last one. Keeper just gets completely off guard. I think you expect the defender there. He's just lost it. I think maybe should be blocking that, and maybe the keeper should be saving it. Who knows? But it definitely would have caught him off guard. And that must have been for 2-2 then. It doesn't actually say the scoreline in here. So this must be for 3-2. Wins it back. And that's another one where I think maybe the keeper could do better. Did it take a deflection, actually? I think it took a deflection. Maybe that's what beat the keeper. Let's see this. I do want to see this. I think it took a deflection. I'm not sure. I could be seeing things. I want to see this. Let's slow down a tiny bit more. Did it take a deflection? That took a deflection past the keeper. That is so annoying. Oh my word. No, we still got more goals. 93rd minute. This must be a winner. Is it a winner? I don't know. Slotted into the bottom left. I didn't realise there was more goals. Oh, look at that for a ball. Travella into the path of Leandro Fernandez. Oh, this finished 5-4. It was a winner. I thought this was a 3-2 game. Oh, let's have a look at this goal back. Oh, look at that ball. 93rd minute. Oh, you're over the moon with that. Look at that ball. Bang. You get many players doing that. But the game ended up finishing 5-4. And oh, look at that. If you're Porto, 11 shots, 10 on target. You scored 4 goals and didn't win the game. That is very annoying. But Corinthians, crazy game that was. Yeah, 93rd minute winner. Oh, that is a crazy game. So that was, I believe, game 4 of match of the day. Moving on to the last 2, and we got the last one. We saved the best for last, the highest scoring until last. And now we have River Plate versus Sao Paulo. I'm also going to be blindly reacting to this one as well. So we get a goal in the 2nd minute. Neymar Jr. gives the ball away, wins it back. That's unlucky. Patrick Schick. Patrick Schick is so underrated. Took his chance well. Yeah, fantastic goal. Rafa Silva with a chance here. Can't actually see what was going on. That is a fantastic block. So I'm assuming the ball is coming from the wing. And he's shot. I want to try and pause this right on the shot. I think the keeper might have that under control. Either way. Deflected behind. And oh, there we go. We saw the pass. Right, looks like he got to the byline, brought it back, and that is a very good spot from the defender. But Schick, it looks like he's got his brace here, and Neymar's got 2 assists now. Cuts in. Yeah, he won't miss from there. He is an out-and-out striker. Boom, straight into the top left corner. Sprite, welcome in. Thank you. Oh, it's good pressing from Schick, and then Darwin Nunez finishes again. So Sao Paulo go 3-0 up here. 3-0 in the first half. And River Plate have a mountain to climb. I'm going to say River Plate do make a comeback. But I am not too sure. Bad memory. That is a good shot from McAllister. It's a decent save. This is still in the first half. Shit goes on a little dribble. It's another good save from the keeper there. Sends out for a corner. Right before half time. This is now right after half time. We have Harry Wilson. It's another block from Maguire. He blocked the first one as well. He seems like a very good purchase for Max of Sao Paulo. Oh, no. What a save. Look at this. He saved that. What a save. That is a fantastic save. And McAllister does end up getting his goal. Pressing from River Plate. Ball's laid onto him. 3 defenders run towards him. But it doesn't faze him. And out of all the chances he's had, that's probably the hardest one to score. Harry Wilson with a goal. McAllister with the assist. There's a poor pass back, but Maguire, he's been so good, loses out. McAllister slides it into Harry Wilson. And he brings it back to 3-2 in the 66th minute. Alright, here we go, Arnold. One of these ones. Facundo Colidio. I know I got that wrong. Goal score. Oh, he was the goal scorer in the 74th minute. Ball comes out on the edge of the box. Saved. And I thought that was flying in to the bottom left corner, but he's there. And it was where you want to be for corners. You want to try and pick up the scraps. Ball gets played through. It was a fantastic ball through and a decent volley as well. Darwin Núñez with a chance in the 87th minute. Ball goes out wide. Good run from Núñez here. The header was contested, but I think maybe Darwin Núñez needs to do better. And then the 90th minute here, River Plate come up the other end, and it's a good save from Sao Paulo's keeper again. I think that is... I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. But I know he is. I think he's Finnish. That was Sao Paulo 3, River Plate 3. River Plate going 3-0 down and coming back. And if I'm Sao Paulo, I don't know if I'm satisfied with that. But now we're moving on to the last game, and I don't know if we have New Mexico's owner or Chelsea's owner in here, but it had to be this game. 11 goals, all in one game. And this is, unfortunately, we don't have highlights for this one. So this is another one where I'm going to have to stop start. But this game, it had everything in it. Absolutely everything. I'm just going to get into it. We have the goal kick from Robert Sanchez. Now, Gothamite of Chelsea, he's the owner of Chelsea. He tried creating a full Chelsea team of Chelsea players, and he's done a pretty good job. Pedro Neto, good dribbling here, gets away from his man. He would have drawn a foul there, but João Pedro, amazing finishing. Unfortunately, we don't get replays. But I've got in my notes here. So the next chance was actually not long after this. Kolo Muani goes short, just short of the post. 2 passes, brings that Chelsea midfielder out of the game, and Kolo Muani just missed out. I've already gone through this game. We're not going to see any. We're not going to see any replays, unfortunately. But the next highlight was on 6 minutes 55 of the video, not the game, of course. And this was another New Mexico chance. They gave it away in the midfield, but they ended up getting it back under some good press. And Timothy Weah, the man used to play for Aston Villa, hits the post. Now you cannot get any... Oh, you could go to the inside of the post, actually, but the outside of the post gets hit, and the ball goes out for a throw-in. Iwobi couldn't keep it in. But Timothy Weah, the ex-Aston Villa man, it was not able to convert his chance. And the next chance, actually, right after this, we have Chelsea coming forward here. Pedro Neto, he is fantastic. He used to play for Sporting, and he was a nightmare to play against. And Cole Palmer slots it into the corner, and that's what you expect from him in that range. Amazing dribbling from Pedro Neto. He brings it into Cole Palmer. Oh, look at that touch. Look at this touch. Does a little faint step over and slides it into the bottom left corner. And that's 2-0 for Chelsea. 2 quick chances. And here we go. Chelsea have it again. João Pedro ends up losing out, but Cole Palmer, it's the press. I'm telling you, Pedro Neto and Cole Palmer nearly combining again. It is blocked by Ibrahim Sangare. But Pedro Neto is able to force the throw in, takes it quick. Caicedo to Di Lorenzo, over to Scott. And that is amazing play. And that is 3-0, and you think the game's been put to bed here. Caicedo to Di Lorenzo, Scott, and it's 1-2 pass in between JB Gittins and João Pedro. And you think the game's over and done in the first half. You're 3-0 up. Half time is just coming up, right around the corner. And as you can see, New Mexico took their time on the kickoff. The next chance we want to look at, I could have let it play, 10:30 in the video. Now, this is a Chelsea chance, and you have to put these away. João Pedro gives it to Jamie Gittins, and that is a fantastic save. We might have been able to square it to Palmer, but then New Mexico retained the ball well. Timothy Weah slides it into Paulinho, and that is very good strength from Paulinho there. And he brings it back to 3-1, and all of a sudden you got a goal before half time, and the momentum swings your way. Good strength. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the replay of that goal. But we make it to half time. Or do we? New Mexico coming forward. Dominic Szoboszlai. Over to Kolo Muani. Cuts in, shoots. And when you think conceding 1 goal before the break was bad, you've now conceded 2 before the break. And now your 3-0 lead is now only a 1-goal lead. 3-2. Good touch from Kolo Muani. Good finish in to put it past Bob Sanchez. And you don't get enough time. And that was the end of the first half. 5 goals in the first half, and the game ended 6-5. So there's a lot more to play for. Let's move on to 13-10 in the video. I have only just realised that I haven't got the volume on. But scrap the volume. Timothy Weah just scored an absolute rocket of a goal, and I don't know if this has been put in for a goal submission, but I would submit that. Timothy Weah from outside the box, not even a stunning shot. Where was this for me? He didn't do this for me. That's an amazing goal. Amazing goal. And now it's 3-3. Chelsea with 3-0 up. Do we get the full replay? We do. What a goal. And then Chelsea come with Alex Scott playing a little bit conservative, but as soon as they see the chance, they will move it straight up that field. I've given it away here. And on my little sheet, it does says we have another highlight here. Ibrahim Sankare to Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani, some decent dribbling here. Does lose his man. Gets it back. Back to Timothy Weah. Oh, and it's just... Oh, how do you contain him? Oh, we're going to get the full replay here. Kolo Muani wins the ball back. Takes a touch. Nutmeg. Weak foot. I think he's right-footed. And you're 3-0. Chelsea went 3-0 up. And now the game is completely flipped on its head. 4-3. We had another chance here. If Kolo Muani could get on the end of that, might have been able to bury the game there. But the next chance was far off. And it's a chance for New Mexico on the corner. Ibrahim Sangare calling for it. Wins the header. And, oh, Mancini. That was really close. Sangare heads it over. And I think that's got to go in. I think if you're Mancini in that situation, you got to put that in. Yeah, definitely a bit unlucky. But as we move on to the next highlight here, Cole Palmer, he would have drawn the foul there. Still comes up with the ball. And this combination is that you got to look out for Neto and Cole Palmer. Because that's what happens when they combine. They give it to João Pedro and he's finished again. That's for like a hat-trick for João Pedro. And that's 4-4. And that's 4-4. And this is when the game starts to get good. You're getting into the last sort of 15 minutes of the game here. Cole Palmer and Neto again. Just Neto's made the run. But he goes for João Pedro instead. And that is smart. That is smart from Neto here. Makes the run. And the defenders want to track him, but it just opens up for João Pedro. Now it's 5-4. Now you've got 9 goals in a game. Now it's all about conserving it. But of course, that is not what happens. Chelsea get another chance. No, sorry, New Mexico to get another chance. And it's Weah again. Good passing. Brian Mbeumo. And this time, New Mexico hit the inside of the post. And it does go in this time. And all of these goals are coming from outside the box. They are fantastic goals. And Mbeumo, Axel Disasi, oh, I reckon he could have done better. I reckon he could have done a bit better. But Chelsea, they win it back off kickoff. Garnacho to Enzo Fernandez. And he finishes. 6-5. But as you know, that is the last goal of the game. It ends 6-5. But Chelsea were pushing for the 7th. Garnacho. And I think that pass was meant for Cole Palmer. New Mexico try and attack it. The ball goes out to Timothy Weah. And it's a block from Cucurella. And he's cleared it. And New Mexico weren't able to get the 6th goal. But that game is absolutely mental. 6-5. We had 11 goals. 10 shots on target for Chelsea. They were very clinical. But New Mexico, you'd be fuming when you go 3-0 down. You bring it back to 4-3. And like I said earlier, you scored 4 goals and lost the game. This time you scored 5 goals and lost the game. But it made for a very, very good game. And that comes to the end for our matches, a match of the day. And right now, I'm going to say New Mexico 5, Chelsea 6 is currently game of the season. But who knows? We still got a good 7 or 8 months left to go of this season. Maybe 6 months of the season. We have now got all the goals submitted for August, and unfortunately, we only had 1 for September. So September automatically wins, I guess. So all of these games you see at the top of my screen here, I don't know if you can actually see it. They are August games, and that last one, the Rashford goal, is the September game. So we'll be going through all the goals. Luckily, the link sends us straight to the clip. So we can go straight into the goals now. People are watching in the future. I'll leave a timestamp below so you can skip the massive break. But this goal was highlighted for its counter-attack. Apparently it finished in less than 20 seconds. It is a very good counter-attack, to be fair. Ball gets played in and he slides it underneath. Now, so when River Plate sent it in, I think his name was Prodigy, he said the counter-attack finished in less than 20 seconds. From here, sorry. "14 seconds, that counter-attack finished in. I love counter-attacking football. I love when it's fast-paced. So that is August's first goal submission, round 4 against Huracan. And now we have Rosario against Huracan. So this is actually a goal for Arnold. Played out wide. This is patient play. Cuts in. Look at the whip. Yeah, he didn't finesse it, so it's got whip on it. Boom. I think it was curving, and then you could see it sort of just get away from the keeper. It was a fantastic goal. Do we get a replay of it? I'd celebrate this as well. But this is patient play, and Rosario, they did sit back. They let it happen. Beat his defender. I think that whipped away from the keeper. That's my favourite goal for August. It just whipped away from the keeper. Straight into that top left corner. And that was Arnold versus Rosario Central. So next off, we have Lyon versus Flamengo. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, it took off our screen. Hakim Ziyech plays it into Josef Martinez, misses. Ziyech picks it up, pulls it back, and beats the keeper at his near post. Good save from the keeper there, but look at this. Just baits the defender and pulls it back straight into that bottom left corner. I really like this footwork here. Ziyech pull. I really like that. The way he's just able to pull that back, and he's placed that well with good amount of power as well. So that was your goal 3 for August. Now we're moving on to Lille versus Lazio, coming in from Werther of Lazio. Wins the ball back in the centre of the park. Baits the midfielder in, and this is centre back. No, it wasn't. I lie. Paul Pogba. Oh! Paul Pogba. Oh, I don't care about Mr. Who's the Boss. Paul Pogba, what a strike. So wins it back on halfway. Tries playing it wide first of all. Raspadori tries cutting in. It was a good stop. But the ball goes straight to Pogba. And he's kept it low. He's kept it low. That's up there with Arnold's goal for me. Bottom left corner. Boom. And I think that's rivaling Arnold's goal. I think that is. Those are probably the top 2 as of now. But now we have Gabriel Carvalho against Marseille. We watched this game. This was highlighted in the match of the day, and Kunku plays it through. Vissa plays it through to Carvalho, and it's a decent little chip over the top. It's a good finish. I mean, in this game, you got to have good finishing. And I'm surprised that ball got all the way through. He found the gap in the defence, chips it over the keeper. That is amazing control on the shot. I like that. And after the all-French game, we get France highlights. Now we're moving on to August. The last one of August. I haven't seen this goal. 7-2 the scoreline. Sao Paulo go through. Lucas Paquetá jumps over his tackle, shoots just from inside the box, and the keeper was expecting it to go to the far post, goes near post, beats Ter Stegen, and it's a good consolation goal in the 89th minute. Personally, I think for me, I think is Arnold and Werther fighting for it. But now we have the only goal of September. I'm a bit disappointed that we don't have more, but it kind of makes my job a bit easier because I can go eat my pizza after this and then get to uploading this. So we have Tottenham versus Fiorentina, the Dazzler versus Galaska. If I got that right. Thuram to Marcus Rashford. I lie, I already have seen this. And Marcus Rashford just gets the... Just look at that. The double touch takes it away from the slide tackle. And Marcus Rashford used to play for the Aston Villa as well. Boom, straight into that bottom right corner. The double touch is amazing. And that is your only goal for September. As we move on out of there, now you're going to see me millions upon millions of times. But that was GPSL, the first match of the day. And I do ask if you do have any sort of criticisms, any sort of, feedback for me, please do send it in. About the sort of watching the highlights and stop starting, I wouldn't be able to change much about that unless I recorded and edited afterwards. But yeah, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. I'm gonna cut out some of the bits that we don't need. But of course, you can watch the full VOD. It will be up on my Twitch for 7 days. Thank you for joining me for GPCL Match of the Day with eFootball Ruggers. And hopefully we bring on more guests soon, more hosts. But I have been Ruggers. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in the next match of the day.